welcome into the studio. I'm Hudson, that's my dad, Todd, and this is a voiceover related video. This is Todd's Tips. This is a video where my dad, who's been in the VO business, VO world for 14 years now, and has, 7 years? $200,000 plus made in just voiceover, no coaching, no demo production, nothing else, no side hustles. And these are tips that he's given me as I am almost 3 years in the 3 years in April this next year. So maybe 6 more months, 7 more months. So I've been in it for two and a half years. These are some things that he gives me to think about and use and employ. And I think there's something that would be useful to anybody who's in voiceover. So lend your ear to him and see what you can get out of this.
You mentioned that it's 8 years since I hit the $100,000 mark per year. This marks my 7th year because today, with a job that I just did,
went over.
I went over $200,000.
So you said 7, so it's 8.
What is
I said 8.
2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It's 7 years that I've made multiple 6 figures. Over $200,000. And so I'm at
8 years that you've made 6 figures.
Yes, but this is my 7th year making multiple 6 figures. Again, we try to say this all the time. It's not to brag. It's just to be transparent. It's just to encourage you and encourage you to just give me a good ear. You don't have to agree with me.
It's also to show that you might know what you're talking. That's my
you've
point. Done something right.
Right.
And so don't just quickly dismiss, certain things, or don't just quickly run to dad's, say, I have to do everything exactly the same way that Todd did or does.
The reason that, yes, exactly. The reason that I'm mentioning the amount isn't to brag, it's to be transparent. And for you to give me just an ear, a slowed down, stopped ear that says, I'm going to take some time to think about what this person says and not just, I don't agree with him. He has these weird beliefs or these different ways of doing things than a lot of coaches talk about. Just take some time to think about what I've said with that information about how much I've made consistently over the last 8 years. And that'll help you maybe hang in there and give me a good ear, and not quickly dismiss me. On the other hand, we always have our audiovisual producer, Demand, put these caveats here. And the reason we do that is simply because we want you to make sure that you just don't line up. You just say, oh, Todd does it. I've got to do it exactly the way he does it. You don't have to do it. There are principles here that you need to apply to your specific area. The money that I've made causes you to hopefully not dismiss some of the stuff out of hand, because a lot of the things I do is different than the path that a lot of people talk about. On the other hand, I don't want you to stop thinking and just say, okay, what do you do here? What do you do here? What do you do here? Why'd you do that? The industry changes. You're different. You're in a different situation. So take the time to apply what I say. All right, enough of that. Okay, so here under the Todd's Tips umbrella, we're doing Todd's do's and don'ts, becoming more specific about some things that I do and don't to make sure my business is a success. That is, I make money. I do make it easy to work with me. I do make it easy to work with me as a voiceover talent. Okay, Todd, you say, duh. Of course you make it easy to work with you. Everybody does. That's business 101. You've got to make it easy for people to work with you. And I say, nope, sorry. I don't agree that it's elementary business knowledge and practice. We say those words, make it easy for the client to work with you, but we have a different definition. I say this, that it's not elementary business practices, because otherwise 75% of VO talent wouldn't be making $40,000 or less per year, as per the NAVA survey just this last year. Indeed, I think making it easy for clients to work with me separates me from the crowd. And the biggest mindset, hear the word mindset, the biggest mindset difference is trust. It's trust. My business friendship, and that's what I call my clients. In fact, a lot of times I'll say to them when I send them a thank you or whatever, thank you for your business friendship, because I consider them a friend. My business friendship with my clients starts with trust. And this is different than a lot of people. It's different than a lot of coaches will tell you. Let me give you some examples. First, no contracts generated by me. I've never ever said you have to sign this contract if you're going to work with me. Never done that. And as far as I know, I never will unless, somebody absolutely requires it. I'm talking about the government or whatever. But if my clients say we've got to have a contract, I sign contracts. I sign contracts fairly regularly, or NDA agreements, but no contracts. That's one area of trust. Second, no upfront payments, not 50%, nothing. A lot of people say, nope, got to have 50% upfront. I say, nope, because I trust you. I trust you as my client. Third, I send out invoices expecting to be paid. Now, I understand there's human nature, and I understand you have to stay on people sometimes, and I understand by experience that sometimes you get burned. But I send out invoices expecting to get full payment, and 99.7% of the time, I get those back. Fourth, communication. Fast and clear communication. That's what I think most people want on the other end of things. They don't want to be bored. They don't want a whole bunch of needy questions or a novel or personal stories. They want fast and clear communication. Trust between the two. Fifth, fast turnarounds of projects. I underpromise and overdeliver consistently. And sometimes I have to, sometimes I have to do that and just continue to work toward that because I can be very busy. But I have to make sure that I always say, okay, I probably can get this done by end of day, but I'm going to say early tomorrow morning. Well, then when I turn it around that day, they're like, wow, that was great.
It's not that hard to do.
No. Nope.
I'm not saying like it's not that hard to do the voiceover and stuff like that. It's just not that hard to say, I can't have this to you. I don't know if I'm going to have this to you today. It'll be by, tomorrow afternoon. You get to it, you send it off, and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just don't say, I'll have it to you in the next hour. 3 hours later, the next day it shows up. They're like, what? You didn't?
Right. Because that's a trust relationship that you have with them that you want to continue to build. They can trust what you say you're going to do. Sixth, lightning fast revisions. Again, that's a trust relationship. You're in the editing, I'm talking about video production people or ad agencies. They're in the editing suite. They're right ready to ship their final project. Oh, we have an edit. Or the client calls and said, can we change this word? Well, I try to get those back as quickly as possible so that there's this trust relationship between us that Todd's going to be there for us when we need him.
Yep.
Lastly, the promise of more work and a better budget. I get those a lot. Hey, if you'll do this for X amount, then there'll be more work or there'll be better budgets in the future. You know what a lot of people say? Sorry, I won't work for that. I won't open my mic for that amount. That's not me. I know I have a standard rate sheet and I know I'm careful, to make sure I'm not trying to bottom things out. But when somebody says, this could lead to more work or we typically have better budgets, I trust them. And they have to break that trust before I stop trusting them. And it's turned out into gold after gold after gold of recurring clients that make up the over 6 figures, multiple 6 figures for the last 7 years. So trust is such a critical mindset. Again, using that word mindset. Trust is such a critical mindset. This doesn't mean I'm stupid or naive. Do I get disappointed sometimes? Sure I do. And some people say, see, that's exactly why I have contracts. I get it. I still think you're going to be disappointed sometimes. Whatever. Do what you want to do. I don't do it, and I think my success speaks for itself. You have to prove yourself by your numbers. And that's why, again, we go back to the caveats and we go back to regularly reminding people not to brag, just to listen. I do make it easy for people to work with me, for clients to work with me, and they come back. And I think that's a big reason. It's not that I'm the most talented. It's not that I'm just the greatest person. It's just that I build a trust relationship with them. So there you have it.
Very nice. Interested in more videos like Todd's Tips? Check them out in our Todd's Tips playlist. They're there, lots of them, lots of gold for free. We've also got our numbers. We'll be having those next. John will be here on the couch. I'll be here. Dad will be here. We'll talk about all of our numbers, direct email marketing, platforms, how the VOMP group did. So you won't want to miss that out. You won't want to miss out on that. I don't know what I just said, but we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Are you dying to see more content like that? Check out the video over here or subscribe over here. Thanks.